Hello, hello. Welcome back to Facts with Dak. We are back with another solo episode after our guest debut last episode, and I am honestly still riding the high from that episode. I appreciate all of the love on just the blooper reel and the episode and just the vibes. Honestly, it was received really well. Everyone really seemed to enjoy it, and I also really enjoyed it. We had a lot of fun doing it, and it was super fun to edit as well. Just the whole process was very exciting and very fun, and I was talking to Lindsay after we had recorded, and she had said that it just like really filled her cup, and I feel like that's the perfect way to put it. It just like put a little like hop in my step and made me feel really good about it, like extra good about the podcast. It was an extra fun experience, and it was cool to like kind of bring someone into what I've created here. So yeah, thank you for all of your love on the last episode. It was so much fun to do, and shout out to Lindsay for joining me. That was amazing. We had such a good time doing that. And I'm stoked for next episode because we're going to have a new guest on the podcast. My goal with guests is to do kind of like a swap. So we'll do one solo episode, one guest episode. That's kind of what my goal is. Because on average, I'm uploading like 2 episodes a month with kind of how weeks work. So every second episode, ideally, will be a guest episode. So next episode will have a guest, will be solo, and we'll flip back and forth. I have 3 guests like on the schedule booked in for recording for the next 3 months. And I was trying to book some further than that, but honestly booking out that far is just like too far for me. It's too much. I don't know what I'm doing in like August yet. So yeah, we're slowly going to work through the list. I don't really want to be in a position where I'm planning out my life like 6 months to a year in advance. That's just not where I want to be. So yeah, I think I'm going to cap it at 3, but I'm very excited to have the next 3 guests. The people that I have booked in, one is a very close friend, and the other 2 are people that I like know, but really not well at all. So I'm pretty excited to kind of like branch out a little bit with my guests too. It's not just going to be me and my besties all the time. I obviously want to have them on, but I also want to have people that I don't know at all, that I know a little bit, just, you know, whoever. I just want to start making connections and getting people on the pod to talk about their shit. As you can see, we are still set up with the same background and sitting situation from the last episode with Lindsay. Number 1, it's way comfier. Number 2, it's got some purple in it, which is like part of my branding, and also y'all voted for it. So I put a poll up on Instagram with my original setup and this setup and asked everyone to vote on which one they preferred, and this one won out. It was like 86% to like 13 or whatever the math is. That's not correct, but you know, it's 14. That's close enough. So without further ado, I'm going to hop into the actual episode. We're going to keep things pretty chill because I feel like our solo episodes are a good time for catching up and reflecting, and if I have anything on my mind, I can kind of let that out here. The last couple weeks, honestly, have been great, so I'm excited to talk about them a little bit. I am feeling quite a bit better mentally, just like taking care of myself, and that's been great. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, what I've been doing, what I've been up to, how I'm feeling. And we're also going to get into a couple of other things. I am briefly going to address the Canadian election because I live here and it's part of my life. I'm not going to get crazy political today because I am doing my best to keep a good balance of that, where I'm informed but not spiraling. So we're not going to have a political episode today, but I am going to talk about it just a smidge. So we will address that. I actually made notes for this episode because I've been a little scatterbrained lately. I'm not going to lie. I have just been so excited about not feeling terrible and nicer weather, and work is a little bit busier. Life is just feeling a little bit better. And, you know, I just wanted to make sure that we stayed on track today and I didn't get too rambly, because as fun as last episode was, you know, we didn't really have like a theme or an outline, and I do want to have a little bit more structure to my solo episodes just so they like have a little bit of purpose, you know? So I do have a little bit of an outline for today. There's a couple things I want to talk about. Most of it's pretty chill. I'm not going to go too far into the politics today because I just am not in that headspace, and, you know, that's not what today's episode is about. So we are going to talk a little bit about summertime. We're going to talk a little bit about self-care, and we're going to talk a bit about nutrition and social media and how all of those things are oddly connected and how they've been affecting me and my friends. So we're going to get into a couple different topics today. Nothing too serious, but we are going to touch on the Canadian election just a smidge. So I've been pretty strict with myself over the last couple weeks with my self-care and my like structured personal routine. I'm just trying to give myself the love that I give to others right now, and just focus on prioritizing myself and taking care of myself, because I was not doing that for a bit. So, you know, I have all of this time. It's summer, the weather is nicer. It's a little bit more motivating to like not lay in bed all day. So yeah, I've been prioritizing self-care in all of the different ways. I have been still searching for a new therapist. That is a ongoing situation, but I have yet to find one that I mesh with, unfortunately. We're going to keep trying. But I have not been able to do that. So that's the one thing on my list that is unchecked. Other than that, though, I'm very proud of myself. I have really tried to get a little bit more structure to the days that I'm not working in the studio. I have like tasks and to-do things on my list, but I don't really have like set times or days for them other than month end. Like that's really the only specific time that's like in my calendar. So what I've been doing is I've been scheduling my self-care and like prioritizing the tasks that like fill my cup, to use Lindsay's phrase, into my calendar so that it's a timed thing, and if I have it in my calendar, it's planned and it's like scheduled. And if I wouldn't break that plan with someone else, I'm not going to break that plan with me. So that's kind of the thought behind that. So I've started putting like everything shower or like yoga or reading time or like journaling or have breakfast, like all of those things. I would think about them and not do them. And, you know, at the end of the day, if you're not showing up for yourself, you can't expect others to show up for you. Like you have to be putting yourself in a position of priority. So that is what I am doing. And I gotta say, it's been working really well. I've been a little bit more consistent with things that I was really struggling with before, which feels just so good. And part of it is that the weather is nicer. I will admit that. It's much easier for me to like get out and do things when it's like sunny and warm instead of frigid and gray. But I definitely have been feeling a little bit lighter and a little bit more fulfilled, just because like regardless of what is going on externally in my life, I know that I'm taking care of myself to the best of my ability and like in the ways that I want to, and showing up for yourself just feels really good. I don't feel like that's revolutionary at all, but I've just been feeling better, and it feels good to feel good. One thing on my priority list is to try to work on my posture. Let me tell you, my job is not helpful when it comes to my posture. I am like hunched and shrimped over people all day. Like sometimes the positions that I catch myself in when I'm tattooing kill me, or will eventually kill me. So I'm really trying to correct that. I literally just caught myself sitting like this, like so hunched over and crunched. So I'm going to sit back and put my shoulders back. I keep looking at those like posture corrector vest things online, and I there's something in my brain that's like, this is bull. Like there's no way that this is legit. It's just like those waist trainers that you could wear for a while that you like hooked in the front. It's all the same lane. And so I haven't pulled the trigger yet. If you have one and you've tried one, let me know what your thoughts on that are. Because honestly, I'm curious. I need to fix my posture. We're going to see how long it takes me to come from here back down to the shrimp. Because that is just habit, and that is where my body goes because I spend so much time in like this position. Being on my phone also doesn't help. So I'm trying to, we're gonna sit up a little bit straighter, okay? Give our back a chance, give our shoulders a chance. I'm gonna do my best. That's something I'm working on. And yeah, I don't know anyone, I don't think, that's close to me that has tried the posture corrector, like vest things. So if you have, I would love to hear about your experience. Holla at your girl after this episode. Let me know what your thoughts are and if you think it's worth it or not. Because if it is, I'm going to order one and I'm going to be wearing that all the time so that I don't look like I'm 100 when I'm 35. That's really what this is all about with the self-care and the prioritizing myself. I'm not afraid of aging, but I still want to age gracefully in the sense of like health and mobility and capability. Like I want to be able to do the things that I love to do as I get older, regardless of how old I am. Obviously, like as you age, your body deteriorates, and that's like how life works, but you can do a lot of things for yourself that prolong your mobility and capability, and I would like to do that. I have not always been super kind to my body in many a way, so I am doing my best now that I'm kind of at the age where I'm like feeling the hardship that my body has endured and that I have forced upon my body. I'm feeling that. I'm starting to feel the soreness and the aches and the pains and the stiffness and all the things. I'm starting to feel all of that, and I don't want to feel like that all the time. I don't want to be feeling like my back is hurting all the time, or my neck is hurting all the time, or my legs are hurting. I want to feel good in all the ways. So I've been very focused on my mental health for quite some time, and my physical health has kind of taken a bit of a step back. And so I'm trying to find a little bit more balance there. I realize that I say that I'm trying to find the balance in everything all the time, constantly. Also, sorry about that. That's balance, okay? I thought that I had a word for the year 2025, and now that I'm sitting here trying to think of it, I don't know what it is. We're going to pop it up here because I did say it in an episode. I think it's balance. And when I say I think it's balance, it is balance, because I say the phrase trying to find a balance constantly. So that's the theme for 2025, okay? The word is balance. That's what we're working on in all of the aspects. Just get the scales right, okay? I'm a Libra. I gotta find that equilibrium, And now one thing I will say that has helped my mood as well is the fact that the Liberals won the Canadian election. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to say it out loud right to you. I voted Liberal. I don't think anyone here is surprised about that. And it was interesting because I was kind of watching the polls go over the few days before I went and voted. And I am someone who, I'm very well informed, and I have my strong opinions, and I sit where I sit in the political lineup, but it was very up and down. I was not exactly sure who I was going to vote for until the morning that I went to vote, which was Easter Monday. And that's because I wanted to make sure that my vote had the most impact that it could. So I wasn't just going to go in there and just vote for who I like, because that's not necessarily the right thing to do for me. You can vote however you want. Love that for us. But I did want to be a little bit more strategic with my vote. I wanted to make sure that my vote counted for as much as it could in the ways that I wanted it to. And so I was a little bit up and down. I'm not going to lie. The morning of going to vote, I was like looking at the polls, making sure that I had everything right and good to go in my brain. And yeah, voted Liberal. You know, as far as provincial stuff goes, I'm not really going to get into all of that. Everyone is being super rude and divisive, and Alberta, like, you're just trying to be the new Quebec, all right? I don't, like, what do you want? Like, no one is ever all going to be happy. We're not all going to get what we want, and, like, suck it up, guys. Like, we got to work together. At the end of the day, the provincial divide is what is going to fuck us. Like, there's still so many people that just want to ram their head into a wall all day about losing the election. And I don't have the time, and I don't have the patience. Like, I'm just over people being so angry at everyone all the time. Like, sometimes you don't get what you want, okay? Too fucking bad, my dude. I don't know. And that's all we're going to say about the politics, because I could not be bothered, honestly, right now. Like, I'm staying informed and I'm staying up to date, but I'm just not in a position where I want to be speaking about things all the time, because everyone is angry and is on their mouthpiece, and I need some peace and quiet for a little bit, okay? You know? A little bit of peace and quiet, a little bit less anger, a little bit more love. That's what we're going for right now. So we're going to count the politics at that. I'm pleased the Liberals won. I voted Liberal. No one is surprised. And I'm intrigued to see where we go from here. I'm glad that we are seemingly making better choices than our neighbors down below, but we shall see. We shall see. There's good and bad in literally everything, so we'll see what happens. We are where we are now. It is what it is. Stop being so angry and yelling at people, especially on the internet. That's all I gotta say. All right, completely unrelated. We're going completely unrelated from the political spectrum situation. I want to talk about summertime. You know, we've got spring first. I know this, but as soon as the nice weather hits, honestly, our weather here in the spring and summer is beautiful in Saskatchewan. It's usually quite hot, really sunny, a little bit of rain. Love that for us. And so, like, I know that it's spring first, obviously, but I am already just in summer mode, okay? The weather is nice. It's supposed to be plus 30. It's just a busy, sunny, like, joyful season. And I love the holidays, like Christmas and stuff, but it's just different when the sun is out. Personally, someone whose mental health is affected by the seasons, you know, I think everyone to some degree is impacted by the fact that we get like 8 months out of a year of just gray, frigid, cold, awful weather. And we get 4-ish months of like mostly hot with some rain. And that's cool. The transition though is very difficult, I think, for a lot of people, and especially for myself. It is wild how much the seasons affect my mental health, honestly. The second my brain realizes that I don't have to worry about it snowing again, it's like this veil comes off. And I'm just like ready to greet the world, and I have so much more energy and motivation to do things, and I'm just like pepped up, and I don't know. You know, that is literally seasonal depression. And I am riding the high of coming out of it right now, to say the least. That is absolutely having some effect on my like emotional state and mental state right now too. It's not just the fact that I'm like prioritizing myself a little bit more. The seasonal depression is lifting too. Okay. I see memes every year. They circle around again around this time of like, it's like popping a molly when you get that sun for the first day again. If you've never done that, that's fine. I'm not really sure what the equivalent would be for you. Have like pop rocks or something. I don't know. But yeah, it's just the best. There's just so many good things, okay, that come with the changing of the seasons. And so that's absolutely contributing to my mental and emotional health right now. And it is and will be, as the season continues, contributing to my physical health as well, because I can actually be outside doing things. And I know that there's winter sports. I know you can do things in the winter. I'm not gonna, because it's cold and I don't wanna. Honestly, that's it. I don't have any other reason other than just I don't want to. I had played disc golf a few times in the winter, and it was still fun. Like, you're still getting out and like doing things and like hanging with your friends, but it's not as fun because you're all bundled up and you can't play properly, and you can lose your discs in the snow. So, okay, we just had a quick pause. I had to adjust the lighting a little bit because it was looking a little dark here. I don't know if that's actually accurate, but we're going to try this out. We're going to experiment with a little bit more light. I'm not a big fan of the big light, you know, but we're going to do our best. But yeah, so I was talking about winter sports, going out and doing things in the winter. That's kind of like disc golf is kind of the only sport in the city that I will take part in. I am a big skier. I've been skiing since I was very small. I'm not sure exactly what my age would have been, like 3 or 4 probably. My grandpa was a ski instructor for many, many years. Him and my grandma lived in Panorama, BC for a long time, and he instructed ski, and he was a ski instructor out there for many years too. So skiing is a big part of my life. I love to ski, and I've been doing it essentially my entire life. And so that's kind of my winter sport. I'm not really a cross-country skier. I have done that, but I don't like have any, and I'm not going to choose that per se. I did have snowshoes at one point, but I think they maybe got used one time. Because again, like, unless I'm zooming and getting like hella adrenaline and like doing a sport, I'm not really going to be able to be coaxed out into the frigid cold. So skiing is really the only one that like I'll consistently do. There is a couple places kind of surrounding towns and cities that we can go to from here, because I live in the prairies. It's very flat here. We don't have a ton of places. There is it's Optimist Hill, I think is what it's called in the city. It's for toboggans and crazy carpets, in my opinion. I feel like you would just spend the whole day riding back up. Like, you're down in like 2 seconds because it's not a big hill. And so it's just not for me. I'm kind of a mountain or bust gal when it comes to skiing. I've just done so much of it that I'm a bit of a snob. All right, I'll say it. I'll be honest. I'm a bit of a snob when it comes to skiing. It's more annoying to me to have to ride the chair longer than I'm skiing, and the only place to avoid that really is a mountain. So there's not much to do in the winter, and so now that it's summer and it's getting a little bit nicer, it's spring, I know it's spring, it just means that I can get out and be a little bit more active. I do really love me some yoga, so that is one that I do consistently, and I kind of have my own groove now that I just like do. I intuitively move how I want to move. I've done enough classes and stuff on my own that I just kind of let my body do what it needs to do. It's usually about 45 minutes to an hour. And it's great. It's like my favorite way to start the day. Just like loosens you up, gets your body like awake and ready for the day and stretched out. And yeah, so I'm stoked to be able to start like getting outside, going for walks and playing disc golf and just doing things, honestly. Like I just want to be outside. I miss being outside. I'm a big outdoors person. I love camping and just like getting out into nature and being dirty and human and just, yeah, it's the best. And you can't do that here in the winter. So summer and spring are definitely the best part of the year. And I am crediting at least 30% of my uplifted mental state to the warmth of the sun currently. Okay, now part of my self-prioritizing and self-care, whatever you want to call it, is that I've been trying to avoid takeout. I love my DoorDash. Okay, I've got the Dash Pass, whatever the delivery fees and whatever. I love takeout. Okay, I love the convenience of not having to cook food, and I love good food. So I have been trying not to get takeout. I have also found that, I don't know, lately it's just not hitting. Like, I'm not the person that's like, I could make this at home, because probably not. I just don't feel like the delivery is as worth it because the food's not as good by the time it gets to you. Like the convenience of not having to make the food and not having to go out and like get the food and whatever else, that's great. But it's usually cold. They almost never listen to the instructions for delivery properly. So they're either like knocking when they shouldn't knock, or they take it to the wrong door, or like there's always something, you know? It's become less convenient. And that is literally the only reason that I do it. It's just because convenience. And I love efficiency and convenience. So I've been trying to cook more at home. And I've also been trying to curb my meat as much as I can. I would love to sit here and say that I am going vegan. I can't lie to you guys like that, okay? I love eggs and dairy way too much. I am not in a position to give that up. Maybe at one point in my life I'll be into that. I've tried some of the subs, like sour cream and milks and like stuff like that, the cheeses too. I can't. I'm not there yet, okay? So veg is kind of as close as I could get. I would have dairy and eggs, but I could probably do without the rest, honestly. The substitutions are pretty dang good. Beyond Burgers hit pretty damn good. Yeah, chicken is kind of a hard one. I do find that the subs for chicken, for like vegan options for chicken and stuff like that, sometimes they're a little like bouncy or like not quite rubbery, but not rubbery. And so sometimes that gets me a little bit, gives me a little heebie-jeebies, but it's not meat, so that takes away some of the heebie-jeebies as well. It's kind of a weird one for me. If you have a good vegan chicken substitute that you would recommend, let me know, because I will try it and I'll see what I think. And if you have some non-vegan things that you think are really good, and you know, I don't need them to be like a 30-minute easy meal. Like that doesn't really matter to me. I'm okay to put the work in for food. But yeah, if you've got some like go-to like weekly recipes, I'm trying to mix things up a little bit. I'm trying to eat more greens, less meat, you know, take better care of my body. I'm a big believer that everything in moderation is the way to go. I don't take any crazy supplements or anything that comes from anyone other than a dietitian or a nutritionist, because unless a nutritionist or a dietitian tells me that something is good or bad for me, I don't care. I don't care. I do not take my nutrition advice from people on Instagram or Facebook or any other place than the medical field that they are well trained in. So I just want to eat food that makes me feel better. And red meat and heavy foods, just, if you're eating that all the time, constantly, it's going to bog you down a little bit. I'm trying to find the balance. And so I would love some recipe recommendations. I was on a hot kick with the crock pot for a while, but again, now that it's getting like hotter and nicer outside, I don't really want to have like hot soup or stew currently. I'm looking for more fresh stuff. I've been obsessed with Chopped like forever, and I have ordered far too many bowls. I'm a big fan of bowls in general. If you can throw everything into one big bowl and just eat it on the couch like a caveman, I'm here for that, okay? You need it to survive, and I am going to enjoy the hell out of it when I'm eating something that is delicious. So, give me all the napkins, give me the wet wipes. I'm going in. I would love to hear your bowl recipes. Please send them my way. I have been too obsessed with the crock pot, and I need to move away from that. So I have been trying my best to kind of move away, and I'm quite pleased with myself, honestly. I do feel much better. Who knew that taking care of yourself would make you feel better? Who knew? I just caught myself shrimping again, and I'm just now thinking about when I go to edit this, how many times I'm like, sit up. Like, to myself through the camera, like, sit up, girl. Like, we're trying to get that back straightened out. I keep catching myself. I just slowly come back down, and then I'll come back up, and then slowly come back down. It's wild. It's honestly wild. I do want to talk a little bit about another effect of summer that I was talking to a friend about this week. And that is the summer's effect on people that struggle with body dysmorphia. This is something I've talked about before. I talk about body image and self-esteem and physical appearance and all of that stuff often. I'm passionate about it. We know this. I love this. So I talk about it in real life too. And I was talking to my friend this past week about just like feeling like I've been having a bit of a difficult time with the rise of skinny talk stuff and all of that 90s, like, food doesn't taste as good as skinny feels bullshit. Like, the shit that I used to do to my body and put my body through, the way I used to talk to my body, like all of that stuff when like tabloids and like heroin chic and all of that stupid shit, like unhealthy shit, was so popular. I'm seeing all of that come back, and it's having an effect. It's having an effect. It's terrible. I have been feeling more insecure. I'm trying to kind of curate my algorithm to not show me some of that stuff. That's also part of the reason that I don't partake in TikTok, is because it's a lot more prevalent there. And fuck that. I don't have time for any of that bullshit. I wholeheartedly disagree with all of it. I disagree with all of it. And I don't think that that's going to be news to anyone. But I do think that it makes it more difficult for especially people that battle body dysmorphia. I was talking with my friend, and they also deal with this, and it can be really hard when you're transitioning from a season where you're like bundled up and wearing really thick, bulky clothing all the time, really cozy stuff, really loose fitting. Like, you're wearing sweatpants and sweatshirts and hoodies and big jackets and ski pants, and your whole body is covered, And a lot of the time too, like toque and mitts and scarf, like literally your whole self is covered, and you're hiding from the outside world for like 7 or 8 months, because that's how long our cold weather lasts. And then you come to a season where you have like plus 30 days, and like you're wearing as minimal clothing as possible because plus 30 is so hot. And you're so used to seeing your body hidden in all of these big bulky clothes that when you transition to your summer wardrobe, where you're wearing little shorts and tank tops and things like that, little dresses, because it's such a long period of time spent covered up, it can really play tricks on your mind. And I was talking with my friend about how I've been struggling with this a little bit, and just like getting comfortable with wearing shorts and tank tops and stuff like I just mentioned, because number one, I am getting used to living in a larger body than I had as a teenager, and it looks different than I'm used to. And because I deal with body dysmorphia, at the end of the day, when I really think about it, I don't really know what I look like. I don't trust my mind enough to know what is real and what isn't when it comes to my physical appearance and the way that I see myself when I look in the mirror, or even when I like look down at myself, not in the mirror. And so I have been having a bit of a hard time with transitioning wardrobes from season to season, just getting used to seeing the different parts of my body and so much skin, and just exposing myself, feeling comfortable showing my body in public. And that sucks. Honestly, it sucks. It sucks to go and put something on, that in my head I'm like, oh my God, this is such a cute outfit. And then I put it on, and to someone else, it might look totally great, but what I'm seeing in the mirror is not something that I'm happy with. And I know myself very well. I know that that's a very slippery slope for me, and I have to be very careful. I have to tread very lightly when I approach changing any aspect of my body. I have to make sure that it is for health reasons and not aesthetic reasons. Primarily, obviously, there's always aesthetic reasons attached to that, but the driver of the goal for me personally cannot be aesthetic reasons, because I get very unhealthy about it very quickly. It's something that, at least, at this point in my life, I'm very proud of all the work that I've done to feel good about my body. Like, even when I'm not happy with what I'm looking at, I'm not hateful anymore. But it is still a struggle every single day to like what I see in the mirror. And I think everyone can relate to that in some aspect. I think we all feel a little bit of that as humans. We are all visual creatures, and as our society has trained us, we are very much focused on aesthetics and physical appearance. And so, you can only escape that so much. So I've been struggling with that, and it seems that I am not the only one struggling with that. It is especially difficult as a woman. I think there's a lot of pressure, especially right now with, like I said, the rise of skinny and heroin chic and all of that kind of a vibe again, which is annoying. But I'm struggling. I'm having a hard time with it. I am not feeling the best about going shopping. I did a little bit of thrifting this past weekend, and I did find some things that fit well. And that's another thing I gotta say, like, there is no baseline for sizing, especially when it comes to women's clothes. And you could be like a 27 in jeans at like Old Navy. I'm pulling none of this is like accurate. It might be accurate, but I'm pulling this out of nowhere. But like a 32 in jeans at Garage, or, there's just no baseline. And that just absolutely fucks with your head too. Like, not being able to really know what size you are is not helpful. And so we've been going to try and find like new shorts and stuff that like actually fits my body properly, because clothes should fit you. You don't need to fit your clothes. If your clothes don't feel good, don't feel like they fit, and you're not comfortable in them, go buy bigger clothes. The size means literally nothing, okay? Because the size is going to be different at the next store that you walk into, literally right beside the one that you're in already. So, I've been going and buying new clothes. I don't care about what the size is. If it fits me and it makes me feel good and it makes me feel comfortable, cool. That's what I'm looking for. And so I did a little bit of thrifting, tried to find some new summer clothes. Oh, the shrimp. Oh my God. Okay. Caught myself there at least. And that definitely helps a little bit. Just like wearing clothes that actually fit properly and like, fit my body in the way that they should. We know I love a good sweatsuit. I've been working really hard not to wear sweatsuits to work. And I've been doing very well with that. Honestly, I've been doing very well. So I'm quite proud of myself there. But something I've been trying to do is wear the clothes at home, like around my house, to get comfortable wearing them and like seeing myself in them before wearing them out. So I think next year what I'm going to do is like a month, maybe 2 months before spring generally arrives, I'm going to start wearing like my warmer weather pajamas and more of my shorts around the house and stuff like that, where I don't have to worry about being cold or anything like that, but I'm just getting more accustomed to not hiding my body, because I think that that is definitely having a bit of an effect on me right now. And my friend as well, we were talking about it, we were both feeling that. And I don't want to feel like that. I've done so much work to love myself regardless of what my body looks like, and be kind to myself and just like be caring and loving towards myself. And I want to continue doing that. So, we're doing our best to be as comfortable as we can to grow into a woman, because like I want to age. I want to get older. I want to be a woman, not a child. And there's nothing wrong with that. So that is something I've been struggling with probably for the last couple of weeks, just where it's been a little bit warmer. And I, part of that is trying to eat a little bit better, just trying to fuel my body a little bit better, so that when I wake up in the morning and I do my yoga and it's a beautiful day outside, if I have the fuel in my body to go out for a walk, I'm more likely to go for a walk. And so that's where we're at. It's just trying to overall take better care of all of the things and make sure that it's coming from a place of love and health and care, and not pressure or hatred or influencers. Okay, so that's all I got on the list today, guys. It wasn't quite as long as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a little bit more rambly, but I had a better idea of what I was bringing to the table today than I did for my last solo episode. I fully winged that last one, and that's fine. That's going to happen. But today was definitely more structured and it felt a little bit better. So we're going to wrap things up today. I am super excited for our next episode because I have someone that I love dearly and is very close to me coming onto the podcast, and we're going to talk about a bunch of shit, and it's going to be a lot of fun. There's no theme to this guest episode. Lindsay was the exception. She got to be the debut guest and also celebrate 420 and Easter, and I wouldn't have had it any other way. She's literally my oldest friend, and she has been in my life through everything. And so it was a good kind of debut into guesthood. So next episode, we will have another guest. There will be some spoilers that will come on Instagram, but today is not that day. And I also wanted to just say a quick thank you. I had a cool little message from Spotify come to me this week, and it feels a little surreal, to be honest. Like, I haven't really been paying attention to the numbers because I don't want to put too much pressure on myself about this. I want this podcast to remain like a fun and joyful thing for me to do. And I'm not really worried about like monetizing or making it a business or anything like that. At some point, maybe that will come. I don't know, but that's not what this is about for me. So I try not to look at the numbers and stuff, just so that I don't get in my head about it at all, because out of sight, out of mind. Love that. And the odd time I'll get like a little push notification from the Creators app. And this past week, I got a little notification saying that I had reached 500 plays on my podcast. And if you get a play count, that means that they listen to at least 60 seconds of, so like a minute of whatever episode. But that's happened 500 times, which includes like all the people that watched it all the way through and whatever. But that was really cool. And it's like part of a milestone with Spotify creators. And I like wasn't expecting it, wasn't thinking about it. And I did take a little look through the analytics, and I just was kind of shook, honestly. I had kind of looked for the first few episodes and been like keeping track just to kind of see what the first little bit of growth was like. And on average, I would say like 30 to 50 people. I'm not a math person, we know this, but it's about 30 to 50 people, like anywhere kind of in between that zone for most of my episodes. And so just like, you know, when you think about the math, it doesn't take very long to get there to 500 plays. And so, you know, people have taken time out of their day to listen to me talk for at least a minute 500 times. And that's pretty cool. So I just wanted to like say thank you for anyone that has listened to me for more than that 60 seconds, even just for that 60 seconds. It just was like a cool little stat to see, and it was cool to take a look at the analytics and just like see that this is actually reaching quite a few people, which is wild. I have zero expectations for this podcast. I am just like diving headfirst and not really paying attention to the rest of it. I'm just doing this for fun, and you guys seem to like it. So that's also pretty cool. Okay, so we are going to actually wrap the episode up now. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I am, you know, back on the scheduled Monday. We are back regular scheduled programming, and I am just grateful that you spent this time with me today. Please make sure to share, like, follow, subscribe, do all of the things that help me get this podcast out into the world. Thank you so much to everyone who is already obviously doing that, getting me to 500 plays, and, you know, just keep doing it. Keep sharing this with the world. Keep sharing me with the world. I appreciate every little bit, whether it's word of mouth or a share on Instagram or a like or whatever it is. I appreciate the hell out of it, and I'm just extremely grateful that you spent your time with me today and that you spent any time with me for any of the other episodes in the past or the future, because this is such a little passion project for me, and I'm, you know, putting a lot of work and effort into this, and I'm putting a lot of myself into this on screen and off, and it's just really fucking cool. Okay? It's just really cool, and you're really cool, and everyone's really cool, and I'm just kind of flying in the clouds right now. Life is going pretty good, and part of that is because of your love and support for this podcast, so I really appreciate it. So I will be back in a couple of weeks with another episode. I will have a guest with me, and it will be a fun and exciting episode. I'll be leaking some spoilers on Instagram in the next couple of weeks leading up, so make sure that you are following me on Instagram as well so you don't miss any of those updates. Thank you so much for joining me today and spending your time with me today, and I hope that the rest of your Monday is as magic as you are.